Specialized Crime Investigation 1, according to Legal Medicine and Trafficking in Person. This course covers the special study of modern techniques in the investigation of crimes involving crimes against persons and other related offenses. Ano nga ba yung importance ng specialized crime investigation sa legal medicine? Nagpo-provide ito ng basic knowledge ng identification at handling ng medical-related evidence and examinations ng mga victims ng trauma, domestic violence, child abuse, sexual crimes, post-mortem examination, and mga autopsies among others. The next one is robbery. Robbery is force upon things as means of entry to the house or building, and intimidation or violence upon persons. So, kapag sinabi nating robbery, ito yung pagkuha ng mga bagay na kung saan ginagamitan siya ng force at ng violence. So, kapag ang isang action ay ginamitan ng force at or violence, matatawag natin siyang robbery. So, the next one is theft. Theft is the action or crime of stealing without force and violence. So, kapag yung isang action naman na kinumit ay hindi ginamitan ng force or ng violence, matatawag natin siya na theft. Robbery and theft compared. Ang both robbery and theft involve unlawful taking as an element. It involve personal property belong to another. In both crimes, the taking is done with intent to gain. In robbery, the taking is done either with the use of violence or intimidation of person or the employment of force upon things, whereas on theft, the taking is done simply without the knowledge and the consent of the owner. The next one is homicide. It is the killing of human being by another human being. So, kapag sinabi na homicide, ito yung general term na ginagamit. Murder, the unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. So, the next one is the Republic Act No. 9208 o mas kilala bilang the Anti-Trafficking in Person Act ng 2003. The law defines trafficking in persons as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, or harboring or receipt of persons with or the victim's consent or knowledge within or across national borders by means of threat or use of force or other forms of coercion, abduction, fraud, deception, abuse of power of position, taking advantage of the vulnerability of the person, or the giving or receiving ng payments or benefits para ma-achieve yung consent of person having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation, which includes at a minimum the exploitation or the prostitution of the others or other forms of sexual exploitation, forced labor or service, slavery, servitude, or the sale of organs. The next one is the Anti-Graft or based on the Republic Act No. 3019. This is the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Ito yung mga corrupt practices ng mga public officers. In addition to acts or omissions of public officers already penalized by existing law, the following shall constitute corrupt practices of any public officer and are hereby declared to be unlawful. Persuading, inducing, or influencing another public officer to perform an act constituting a violation of rules and regulation duly promulgated by competent authority or an offense in connection with the official duties of the latter, or allowing himself to be persuaded, induced, or influenced to commit such or offense. The next one is the kidnapping and serious illegal detention. The penalty shall be death where the kidnapping or detention was committed for the purpose of extorting ransom from the victim or any other person, even if none of the circumstances above mentioned were present in the commissions of the offense. Merong elements ang kidnapping. Ang una niya is the offender is a private individual. Pangalawa is that the kidnaps or detains another or in any other manner deprives the latter of his liberty. The third one is the act of the detention or kidnapping must be illegal. that the commission of the offense, any of the following circumstances is present: that the kidnapping of detention lasts for more than 3 years. This is committed by simulating public authority. That any serious physical injuries are inflicted upon persons kidnapped or detained of threats to kill him are made, or the person kidnapped is a minor or a female or a public officer. Any private individual who shall kidnap or detain another, or in any other manner deprives him of his liberty, the perpetrator shall suffer the penalty of reclusion perpetua to death if the kidnapping or the detention shall have lasted for more than 5 days. It's committed by simulating the public authority. The next one is the Anti-Cattle Rustling Law of 1974 by PD 533. Cattle rustling is the taking away by means or methods or scheme without the consent of the owner or the raiser. Any of the above animals may be cow, carabao, horse, mule, or other domestic member of the bovine family, whether committed with violence against or intimidation of any person or force upon things. It includes the killing of large cattle or taking its meat or hide without the consent of the owner or the raiser. Anti-Fencing Law of 1979 or PD 1612. Fencing is the act of any person who, with intent to gain for himself nor for another, shall buy, possess, keep, acquire, conceal, sell, or any other way deal on any articles, items, objects, or anything of value which he knows to have been derived from the proceeds of crime or robbery or theft. Fence include any person, firm, organization, association, or corporation, or partnership, and other organization which commits the act of fencing. So, kapag sinabi natin na anti-cattle rustling law, ito yung pagkuha or pag-take ng mga hayop na walang consent ng owner. So, kapag halimbawa, tinake mo yung animals, kinuha mo or kinain mo yung meat, makakasuhan ka nito. The next one is abortion. Based on the Article 256, merong intentional abortion. Ito ay yung pagkukumit ng intentional na pag-abort. Use any violence upon the person of a pregnant woman, or without using violence, act without a consent of the woman, or by acting with the consent of the woman. Based on Article 257, merong unintentional abortion. The elements ng unintentional abortion is there is a pregnant, violence is used upon her without intending an abortion. The violence is intentionally exerted. As a result of the violence, the fetus dies either in the womb of the mother or after having been expelled therefrom. If the pregnant woman was killed with violence, the crime committed will be the complex of the crime, murder, parricide with the unlawful abortion. Based on Article 258 naman, abortion practiced by woman herself or by her parents. So, meron din siyang element. Ang element niya is, there is a pregnant woman who has suffered an abortion, or the abortion is intended. The abortion is caused by the pregnant herself, any person with her consent, any of her parents with her consent, for the purpose of concealing her dishonor. Based on Article 259, abortion practiced by a physician or midwife and dispensing of abortion, meron din siyang elements. There is a pregnant woman who has suffered an abortion is intended, or the offended who must be a physician or the midwife cause or assist in causing that abortion. The physician or the midwife takes advantage of their scientific knowledge or skills. Article 266 or rape. Elements. By the man who shall have carnal knowledge of a woman under any of the circumstances. Matatawag din siyang rape kapag through force, threat, or intimidation. We can also conclude a rape when the offended party is deprived of the reason or is otherwise unconscious, or by means of fraudulent machination or grave abuse of authority. We can also say that when the offended party is under 12 years of age is demented even though none of circumstances mentioned above the present. Merong elements ang rape under ng paragraph 1. That the offender is a man, and also that the offender had a carnal knowledge of a woman, and that such act is accomplished under any of the following circumstances. Who can commit crime? The crime of rape can now be committed by a male or a female by virtue of the Article 266 as amended by RA 8353. Merong statutory rape. Ang elements nito is that the offender had a carnal knowledge of a woman, that such an act is committed when the victim is under ng 12 years of age. The use of force or intimidation is not an element of the statutory rape. The offense is established upon proof that the accused sexually violated the offended party who is below 12 years of age at the time of the sexual assault. Ang incestuous rape naman is necessary that actual force or intimidation be employed. It is sufficient that the accused exercise a pervasive influence and control over the victim.